Why are you laughing?
Because it's so cheese.
It
makes me giggle.
It's cornball.
That's the point. Coming soon to a Hollywood video near you.
I want to say The Broken Gate. Beyond the Gate. I didn't think about it.
You want to try it again?
Nah, just keep that one.
You sure?
Do it again.
Okay. Coming soon to a Hollywood video near you.
Beyond the Gate.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are talking about the movie Beyond the Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is a movie about two brothers who find an old school VHS board game. Their dad disappears or something, right?
Yeah, like in the beginning of the movie, you think that like maybe the dad died, and then it kind of reveals it a little bit later on that he disappeared. He wasn't like found dead or alive, he just kind of disappeared.
And then like at a certain point they're like, oh, he does this all the time, and it's kind of like thrown in there, so it's like, oh,
he's kind of like
a drifter.
Yeah.
Almost, except like with a stable house that he comes back to.
Yeah.
The dad owns a VHS store.
Mm-hmm.
And the two brothers are having to pack up everything because he's gone. He's just gone.
Disappeared, so there's no one to run the store, I guess. I don't know who would be like shopping at that store still, but they find it kind of introduces the characters a little bit more. So you're familiar with kind of like their dynamic, and then they find the Beyond the Gate board game.
Alright, so that's basically what the movie was. Like, that was the movie.
First impression.
First impression. I thought it was hysterical. I love cheesy horror movies. I'd live for that. Like, don't get me wrong, I like good horror movies. Ones that really scare you and bring dread into your life. Great. I love them. But there's something about a cheesy horror movie that just makes me happy inside.
It's like so bad, it's good.
Yeah. Like, I can see this being a cult classic in the future. Okay, first impressions of the movie. Great. It's a great movie. I like the movie. Super cheese. They could have done better with
the storyline.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the acting or the writing of the movie that was the problem.
I think it might have been the acting.
You think it was the actors themselves?
They're just bad.
Because I feel like they were really trying to be good actors for their lines.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
maybe they're like looking at the script like, God, why did I sign up for this?
Like, this is what I have to say. Like, everything is like one shot lines. You know what I mean? There's hardly, like, all the exposition is done weirdly.
My first impression, it didn't like invoke any emotion in me. Like, it wasn't like, I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was scary.
You didn't think it was funny?
No.
So you hated the movie?
I thought it was stupid.
Yeah, so you hated the movie.
Yeah.
You don't like cheesy horror movies.
I can get down with some. Like, if they're actually, like, funny. Legit funny. That wasn't even funny.
Well, they're not made to be funny. That's the thing.
No, but, like, sometimes
they're made to be horror movies.
No, like...
And they're just bad.
I mean, it was just bad. Like, it wasn't so bad, it's good. Like, it was just bad. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I can see
No.
why you would say that. I can almost guarantee everyone watching this will also hate the movie. This is one of those movies that is gonna be hated.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie.
At all.
I would rewatch it just because I like cheese. Like, that's my thing. I love cheesy horror movies. Yeah. Yeah, I can see why you're like, F this movie. You know?
Fuck
like,
this movie completely.
Yeah, I can see that. But if you're like me, you like cheesy movies, go watch it. It's funny.
That got like 0 out of 5. What is it, spooks for me? Like
Did it?
Yeah.
Overall rating is dead center. Out of 10, on like IMDb and stuff, both, it was like, there's like the critic score and then like the fan score. Both of them got dead up the center. And it's like, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just a very average movie.
Clickbait this video, like, do not watch this movie in like all big caps. You were like, do not watch what? Shit ass movie, don't watch it.
Be prepared for clickbait, I suppose. I know we're not directors and we're not writers. We're just movie critics.
We're like shitting all over this movie.
We're just movie critics.
Worked really hard on it.
No, I'm sure they worked super hard on, and I hope to be a writer and movie director at least for one movie in my lifetime. So I know our opinion means nothing, but future events, if you ever want to remake the movie, I know you could do a more phenomenal job.
I feel like he had like so many ideas that he could have broken down into like 2 or 3 movies, like kept them separate and kept it more focused on like
prequels or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like he didn't have to fit it into one movie where like the budget isn't super huge.
Yeah. Why'd you give me that cheesy joke and then all the dead space?
The movie was so frustrating to watch. It was all so frustrating because like
so cheesy.
I don't know how they like put it together and watched it at the end. Like did they not think like
maybe they were on a like timeline too? Maybe they're trying to get it done before a festival. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know the whole thing. It came out in 2016. So would you call this movie a horror movie?
No.
So it's not horror-tastic to you at all?
No.
I think it is. I think it is 100% a B-rated horror movie.
I think it's a piece of shit.
It's pretty bad, but it's, to me, it's kind of bad.
It's a horror movie. Like, if I was watching it as a little kid, like, they'd be scared.
It would totally terrify a 10-year-old.
Yeah, so, like, it's a horror movie.
Like, if I gave it to Charlotte,
yeah.
she would be like, no, I'm not sleeping tonight.
Yeah. Don't.
Kind of like a Goosebumps movie. Like a more adult Goosebumps movie. Like Teenage Goosebumps. Yeah, super goof movie. So I know we've just pretty much been shitting on the movie the whole time. Sorry, Mr. Jackson Stewart. I'm just trying to give you pointers. That's all I'm trying to do. I don't know if you are. I think you're just like, fuck this movie, but
I feel like he knew it was bad. He wrote that movie and was like, this could use some work, but we're just gonna use it.
We're just gonna go with it?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite actor or a favorite character in the show? Because I totally do.
The lady on the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting
She did
that.
the best job.
She did pretty good.
Yeah.
She was very, very dry to me, though.
Yeah.
Like, it kept doing that whole
She almost reminded
staring.
You know how we
and then looking and then staring.
I'm gonna go like off topic here a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know the Parks and Rec episode we just watched, Janet Snakehole?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what she reminded me of a little bit. Like that, like.
So they never described why there was a picture of her in the dad's house.
Yeah. Well, they never even described, like, before, like, all of this. Remember, before, like, I'm pretty sure it was, like, before they even, like, played the game and everything. Like, that random picture fell. Like, it was.
That was of him.
Oh, that
was like the dad trying to communicate to him.
Oh, that, like, his soul was stuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's the gist I got from it. Because he was looking at a picture of the whole family, and then the picture fell, and he was like, picks it up, and he's like, oh, that's me. You know what I mean? Like the dad's like, hey, I need your help.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of shit. And then the key appears out of nowhere that same night, you know, for the office. That's the whole gist I got. Because then that same night, his bad dream, the very first bad dream was the ghost whisper, help me. You know? So that's what I got from that whole beginning of the house. The dad trying to communicate.
Yeah, was stuck somewhere. Okay.
that was at least semi-cohesive to me. You know what I mean? Compared to other parts.
Who was your favorite?
The younger brother.
Yeah.
I think that was the best character in the movie.
Yeah, he did the best, for sure.
Not just the actor, but like I think they wrote the lines pretty well for him too. Like, I think he had the best direction. Yeah. As a whole.
He was the most, to me, like the most emotional character.
He was the most alive character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there's so much that wasn't explained. Like, so the ending, you know, the younger brother has chest clawed.
Yeah, like, does he survive or not?
No, yeah, he survived. They took him to the hospital. And then they're still in the house. However, but did the two friends who they kill survive?
Yeah, like how they just randomly, like,
disappear. At one point in the movie, they're watching the TV and they're like, you have to go in there and stab the heart, right? We just said that. And they're like, that's the only way to save everyone affected by the movie.
Yeah.
That's what they said, save everyone.
I feel like everyone, like their friends died, but like his girlfriend was like one of the cards that they flipped over and like she didn't die.
No, her soul was taken and they saved her soul. Remember, that's what I was saying. Like, you either had to die or lose your soul to get a key. That's what I'm saying, is like, they didn't explain what happened to the friends. There's so many holes.
Yeah, a lot.
That's what kills me. I hate holes in movies unless I know for a fact there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah, because then you have like 20 questions after the movie ends.
And you're just, that just ruin, like, unless a movie's supposed to have those holes and it doesn't feel like, there's a difference between a missing, you know, thing for a movie that needs to be in there and like mystery.
There's a lot of loose ends that needed tying up.
Like, it was, you need to tie all this together in your brain, which I did, but like,
it took so long to explain that to get to that.
Yeah,
like you could feel it.
It's 3/4 of the way in the movie.
Feel it throughout the whole movie. Like he's got he's really tense. Like he's obviously got some like past like home life issues like weird relationships with his family. Weird relationships with everyone, all around. Yeah. Except for the cop. That was the only one until the cop tried to kill him with a shotgun. Because he had a brain thing. And then he had to pull the thing out of the dummy and his head exploded. You probably sound so dumb explaining all this. Oh, we do. We totally do. This is the movie, though. I promise you. Movie. Do you have a favorite scene of the movie? Like an absolute, like... I know you hated the movie. I get it. I know you hated it and you would never rewatch it. But was there one scene that you were like, I like that scene? I feel like your favorite scene might have been the really cheese scene with they're like, hey, does this on the game board look like our backyard? Oh yeah, that does. And they open the door and there's instantly an X on the ground. And then they start digging and they're like, oh, voodoo doll. No, it was like a loosely painted, like spray painted like X on a random piece of grass. Was that what it was, spray painted? I thought it was supposed to be like a little X bush. Was it? It almost I thought it was like a little bush. It looked like it was spray painted. Oh, it might have been. And that was they were like cheese. Digging for it with like little garden shovels. Yeah, they just pull up. Which he just like knew where they were off screen. They pulled out what's obviously like a voodoo doll, right? Well, they pulled out a little casket, like a little mini casket. With a voodoo doll in it, and they didn't think anything, like, he flicks out his knife, and he didn't think anything. Well, he's, like, pulling at it first. He's like, huh, there's something in here. This sketchy, like, board game, and, like, oh, voodoo doll. Like, nothing, like, tied together, like, dumbasses. I'm assuming the board game changes per person that gets it, because, like, why would everyone in the world go to their backyard to get that X that's on the top of the board game? You know what I mean? It has to change. Same thing with the person in the video. She has to change too per person. That's another assumption that I'm making though. I feel like every time they found a key, it was like my like a favorite scene. Cause I'm like, oh, they're getting somewhere. Like, oh, the story's moving forward. Like, here we go. I feel like there was too much dead space in between each key. Yeah. Not enough explaining. I don't like that it took them so long to actually start playing the game because they kept like playing it and like they would close it. I thought they were going to get sucked into the TV.
and it was going to be like them in this other world playing this game trying to find keys.
Random.
And that's what I was hoping for.
I thought they were gonna actually like open the gate and like. Well, they did at one point. They did do that, like where they opened the gate and they got like sucked into the gate. But yeah, I thought it was gonna be
That's
or like
the end.
or she like comes out of
the
TV, like something like that.
Didn't she though?
Did she?
Like, wasn't she in one of his nightmares? And I feel like every one of his bad dreams could have been more of a premonition than a random night terror.
The dreams that all happened at 3:13
Because like
a.m.
she like punched through his chest at one point, pulled out his heart.
I think that was like
Him having to go and grab his dad's heart.
Foreshadowing for that.
But like that's terrible foreshadowing. You could have done so much better foreshadowing. You know what I mean? Like have the dad show up and be like, "Oh, is that you, Dad?" You know, like. Because we don't even get to know what the dad looks like until like three-quarters of the way into the movie. Like, when they show a picture of him. Like, we don't know what the dad looks like.
I know. So then you have to infer that this like person that
is the dad.
Is the dad.
Yeah, because you're like... Because they don't say, look, there's a picture of Dad. They just show you a picture of this dude. And then 10 minutes later, he's like, Dad! And he's like, oh, I'm evil. Yeah, like... You can't stab me, little boy.
He's got like some low budget like zombie makeup on. You're like, oh, that's like the evil dad or whatever.
Yeah, he's Poison Heart Dad. Got it.
Poison Heart. What was your favorite scene? My favorite scene.
That's a tough one. That's a really because there's cringy scenes that hurt me. You know, like the one where she's like, oh, I hurt my wrist. Like, clearly that's abuse. Clearly they're talking about he abused it.
Yeah.
That made me cringe so hard. I'm like, oh, like, you could have set that up better. But now you just make me hurt. Like, I gotta say my favorite scene, though, is when they're fucking with the voodoo doll. And, like, homeboy just, he's, like, being a real pervert to that waitress. I guess his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
He's being, like, a real perv. And then he, like, gets really abusive and he's like, and then she, like, gets away by throwing something in his face. And then all of a sudden, he's just like, oh, and then falls on the ground. And then his guts literally explode out of him. Like...
It looked like the intestines, like, literally looked like, freaking sausages. Like, they were, like, flying out of it, you know what I'm saying?
But why were they flying out of him? He cut the doll open. He didn't just, like, throw everything out of the doll. But he just, like, all of a sudden, he's like, uh-oh.
He was supposed to, like,
boom.
spew blood and guts. And, like, that was their interpretation.
But that was so much worse than spewing blood and... That was exploding blood and guts. Which was freaking awesome. Or when the cop's head explodes, like, randomly. Like, he's like, I'm gonna shoot you.
No,
and then he pulls the pin, and then...
They just, like, almost like they're holographic, and they just, like, fuzz out of the screen.
Yeah, they disappear. They just fucking disappear. Why? Where did they go? Was that their soul? Did they actually die? Or was it like a fake version of him that didn't actually die? Because he just fuzzed out. Because the best friend didn't fuzz out. Do you remember that? Yeah. He didn't fuzz out. He just died.
And then, remember they said randomly, like... Oh, God, I can't even remember, like... They were like, oh, like, crazy ex-girlfriend.
Murdered him.
Like, no, like, you obviously know that.
There's a bar full of patrons that saw him die without the girlfriend doing it. So she's arrested now.
His intestines literally spewing
explode out.
She's, like, standing away from him.
She's getting covered in intestines.
They thought she was, like, a witch or something.
So now she's in jail. That guy's actually dead. The cop disappeared into nothingness. Like, he, like, just phased out.
Like, we're supposed to be talking about our favorite scene. We're just shitting on the movie more. We're supposed to be praising scenes.
There's so much to talk about. Now is the fun facts. We gotta eventually get a movie that has better fun facts. The last two were kind of lame.
Lame.
But the tagline for the movie is press play and pray.
Cheese.
Cheese, super cheese. The instructions, I guess, which is another weird part of the movie, where they're like, they don't even look at the instructions before playing the game.
There's a blank piece of paper and they just appear.
Yeah, the game has to tell them to get the instructions out, because who opens a game and doesn't read the instructions instantly? Who's just like, I'm just gonna jump right into this and
It
figure it out when I go.
Yeah, the fun fact is that it has like the same instructions as a Ouija board.
Yes, so when the it's only a brief little thing, but when the paper reveals itself for the instructions, it's the original instructions for the game Ouija. And then supposedly all the characters' shirt colors are supposed to represent their colors of their game pieces, but I don't feel like that's super accurate. In my opinion, I have to rewatch it to like see how many times it is accurate, but I don't think it's super duper accurate throughout the whole movie, at least. And the only other interesting fun fact I found was they like everyone knows about green screen and how you can like put stuff behind you with it. They use green sticks to move the pieces.
Yeah, so it looked like they were moving on their own.
Yeah, so they would edit out the green stick. So, but it looked like the pieces were moving. And I feel like that's where all their budget went. Was editing that out. So what did you? Let's give our review. From 1 out of 5 spooks, what would you rate the movie?
I already told you 0.
0 spooks. I would give it
maybe like a 1 out of 5.
A 1 out of 5. Technical difficulties with a cat. You okay? Okay. So yeah, those are the fun facts. You would rate it 1 out of 5 spooks. I would have to. Thank you. I'd have to rate it 3 out of 5 spooks. Maybe 2.5.
Yeah.
So overall, our score would be
2.
Like a 2. A 2 out of 5 spooks.
It's so dumb.
So good job to you, Beyond the Gates, with your score of 2 out of 5. Definitely could recommend a lot of changes. But if you like cheesy movies, I'd say go watch it. Like, it's super cheese. It'll make you giggle. It made me laugh like 4 or 5 times.
Invoke like 2 or 3 giggles.
I wouldn't say it's like a waste of time to watch the movie. Like, I don't feel like my life is worse for watching it. And the whole story itself is an interesting idea. It's like horror Jumanji is basically what it is. You know, it's like, what were we saying? Jumanji, The Color Out of Space, and something else all had a baby, and that's what the actual story of the game would be.
Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, Stranger Things. So if like all 3 of those had a baby, like the story lines, they would make this movie if the movie was better. Like a lot better. But yeah, that's our opinion. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you thought, if you've seen the movie, or how we did reviewing the movie. I'm sure you're going to be confused the whole way through. Anything you'd like to add?
No. Hope they have fun watching it.
Yeah, have fun.